Okay guys, my name is Zach, your host, and this is Airborne Outdoors. Welcome back to the channel. We've been just walking down by the river bottom, scouting around. Not too cold of a day. It's maybe between 15 and 20 degrees Fahrenheit. And we're closer to the river, like I said before, just to get away from the civilized world a little bit. But we found a little spot here. I'm just clearing out. Just gonna set up a little lean-to against the wind and see if I can get a little fire started. And I just got my kit, my little priorities of survival kit that I had packed yesterday. The one thing I forgot, I had it laying right there, was that sleep pad. It was the one thing I said I wish I had down here, is something to sit on and put my stuff on. So we're just gonna clear out this spot, set up a little lean-to, grab some firewood, kick back and see if we can warm up a little bit in this chilly Minnesota winter environment. Okay guys, we got a little bit of our base shelter going, cleaned off a spot, set up the lean-to against the wind towards the river, gathering some twigs to get a fire going. Got a small wall built up. I didn't build a wooden wall, but I kind of banked it up with the sand, threw dead logs on top. And we'll see if we can get in there and just get warmed up on this miniature little essentials of survival kit. Okay guys, we're just chilling in our shelter. We're just under that little tarp. We got our ground cloth here so we could lay down. Just a little fire going. Took about 30 seconds with that little live fire. Just playing in the woods, guys, it's making me realize, like, this shit is not easy. All the big outdoor channels, you know, those guys are out there just crushing it. I mean, they're making videos that take weeks, months, you know, when they're making a cabin or something. But even the guys that just go out and survive in Alaska, for example, I mean, he is, well, for one, he's got all kinds of modern technology, you know, snowmobiles and chainsaws and who knows what's going on behind the scenes. But just coming down here and scouting out a little area, and it's not the best area, obviously, but it's something to learn where your skill level's at, and being a little older and still trying to lose weight and knowing where my skill set is. It's like my ambition is not up as high as my skill set. I mean, yeah, I can set up a shelter and get a fire going, but do I really want to build a log cabin? Or, you know, I'm on like public land anyway. But I will say, guys, the just being out of the wind under this tarp, I mean, I can feel the heat from the fire reflecting up on this tarp, and it's a little warm above my head. And, you know, yeah, again, I got my hat and gloves off. It's a little breezy where it'll gust up to maybe 9 or 10 miles an hour, but when it calms down, it's really nice. But it makes me see how you would really want to build your shelter to get out of the wind. I was trying to find a more secluded, confined spot where I could like set up the tarp against a big log or something. But then I was like, well, then I don't really have a good place to make the fire in front of me. So just kind of set it in the wide open. Just grabbed some sticks and not much for larger wood. Put a big dead log out front, kind of built up the wall with the dirt. So I mean, I have about a foot high wall there behind the fire, something to reflect a little heat. But being out of the wind and having a fire is the biggest part of what keeps you warm down here. Let's see what we got for chow. So guys, I just remembered I had my SOL Escape bivvy, and I just slid down into that thing. Like I said, I'm only about 5'9". It's just barely getting over. I am about 240 pounds though, and it's tough to get in there, but it's definitely warm. Look, I mean, I just got plain old shoes on, but got the fire roaring just a little bit. Close enough to me. I think if I was actually going to stay here, I'd probably put that another couple feet away and build up a bigger wall, but drying those shoes out easy. They're smoking. Just plain old shoes. So, but talking about this SOL Escape bivvy, this is the first time I ever got in it by its, and it looks like I would be able to shut this completely up on myself. Got my backpack and my headgear here as a pillow. And, you know, like I said, it's under 20 degrees. And, you know, I haven't been moving too much for quite a while now. And I'm still plenty warm. I could tell, though, like, my feet would be freezing by the end of the night. And I would definitely want a way bigger fire, maybe like a long fire, you know, where it's towards my feet too, and maybe even cut it like ball up more. But I could see my feet needing to be towards the fire. Having those bigger winter booties that some of them outdoor guys have for the really cold weather, and like I said, really getting that fire, maybe the whole, you know, just 4 or 5 feet long of fire, and just put nothing but big sticks on there, big logs on there for the night. But I'm not gonna do too much. Like I said, I got my priorities of survival kit with me. So I got my water filter around my neck, got my little food bar in there. So I got food, water, shelter, a little bit of tools and equipment, and just enough to get by, you know. Speaking of the water, I grabbed the bigger Nalgene bottle when I packed up and left. Just threw the thing threw the kit in my Osprey backpack, which, because I had that ground pad in there, and it just made it a lot easier to fit that in there. But definitely didn't even need that big of a bag. It was so light carrying it down here. I was like, if I didn't have that water, I don't even think this kit weighed 10 pounds. It's just a minimalist kit, but like I said, it's enough to get by. Let's take a look at that food bar. Those things have been sitting around forever. You guys chilling under my tarp, fire blazing, digging out my food, and I remembered I brought, as like I said, my wife is Asian, so we got like these mushroom chicken meatballs. So we're gonna throw those in our pot and get those on the fire, and we'll check out that food bar as well. Alright, so we're digging into this food bar. Like I said, this thing's getting pretty old, but we're gonna try it out. So you got like 9 individually portioned out pieces here, and just gonna cut. Oh, I just sliced my, see, you gotta be careful. So there's your 400 calorie food bar. Let's have a look in here. Doesn't look all that bad. Can't really smell it. Not too hard. A little bit like people say, like a sugar cookie. Oh, my meatballs is cooking over here. Check. Well, I can't believe how fast that fire just boiled that water. It was like by the time I opened that food bar kit, that is a hot coal though. Look at that water boiling immediately. You know, this is not that bad. And I know I can't really read the date here, but yeah, I think it expired quite a while back, and still not too bad. But those things are gonna be toasty. Yeah, I could definitely survive on this for a few days. I mean, it's not delicious, but it's not as bad as I would think it would be. Especially being expired. Throw 2 tablespoons of olive oil that I got in my pack, you know, and that would add you 250 calories right there. So you add 50% more calories than this thing is easily with a small little kit. Boy, when I was packing up my Esquimalt Escape baby, being so close to that fire, a little spark of ash got on there and put a tiny hole in it. And then also, when I had my shoes, I thought I had them plenty far away, a little spark got on there too. They're still fine, but I'm learning. Hey, you know, this mainstay one anyway, I can't remember what other ones I've tried. I know I've tried other ones. Not that bad. I would definitely recommend this thing. You will survive. All right. Let's all right, guys. Trying out our sausage balls. Little mushroom chicken. These things are actually really good. They're only like $5 for the whole bag. And they're in like Asian stores. Cooked chicken and mushroom. Decent source of protein. You gotta watch the sodium in there. But a little camping snack. Actually didn't eat breakfast. Came right out here and started playing in the woods. But something I'm learning, guys, is as much as I love camping and hiking, I do not ever want to be bugging out. This is not my thing. I definitely see the allure of it. It's fun as far as packing out kits and stuff. But how you getting out in the cold? Maybe if I was on my own land and I had a little more freedom. But yeah, this is not all fun in the sun. So we're gonna wrap this up. I might chat a bit when I get home. Just pack this shelter up, let this fire burn down, finish my lunch, pile that with snow. Not too worried about the ground's all wet anyway. Dump my water out on it, make sure that thing's safe. Check the other camp from the other day, and that was all good. Great experience though. I'm going to continue to try to build my skills as far as coming out and getting a shelter and a fire and maybe purifying water. I know we can melt the snow here, tons of snow, but I'm on the river bottoms and there's tons of trees, a lot of debris. Wouldn't be the cleanest, but it would definitely be doable. There's some streams nearby heading into the Minnesota River that we could drink out of and things like that. But overall, guys, yeah, this is a lot more work than you think just watching videos.